Hello everybody, this is Scott, and today I'm going to be bringing you a complete guide for the Totenreich Easter egg. So the prerequisites for this Easter egg are going to be opening Pack-a-Punch. There's also a couple score trees that you're going to need throughout the Easter egg, one being an RCXD, one being the Glock drop you get after opening Pack-a-Punch, and another one being a Disciple injection. So if you see any of these like spawned in on the map, like for example there's a Disciple injection in the church that you can like just leave there and use for later, so just leave those there, and then you want to hold on to that Glock drop until you use it for the first step that you're going to use it for, and then also you're eventually going to either need to buy an RCXD or have an RCXD dropped, so just keep all of that in mind. Alright, so the first step is we're going to need a chain from the front of the boat. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into this little building right here, you're going to flip this switch, wait for this piece of wood to fall down in front of the boat, and then you're going to run off the platform that I am currently showing you, not one of the ones that are lower, but the platform that I'm showing you. Run off it, wall jump, and jump towards the front of the boat and pick up the chain. Then you're going to need to take that chain to this shack out here, just put it in, and then just hold down, open the door. Then you're going to want to grab a can of beans from the back of this truck that I'm showing right now. Then you're going to want to place it on this table, and then you're going to want to flip rounds until the next snowing round, and then after you kill a couple dudes, a bear will come out, and then after you kill that Zursa bear, then he will drop a lantern. After you have the lantern, go down to the bottom of where the door you open with a chain, place the lantern on the pedestal. Then the next step is going to be a constellation step. So all these constellations are going to appear on each side of the pedestal. So if you're coming down the stairs and looking at it from the front, you're going to interact with the same constellations that match up on the wall from the sides of the pedestal in order from left, right, back, and front. After that, this ghost girl will pop out, and then you can follow her around the map, filling her up with souls until she spawns a bunch of platforms that you can then parkour towards the lighthouse, so parkour on those, and then after that, you can go up the lighthouse, do another parkour section, and then after you get to the very top, then make sure you grab the wonder weapon. After this, you're going to be spawned in kind of at the top middle section of the lighthouse. Make sure you grab the crowbar that is behind you during this step. Okay, now we're going to need 3 uranium containers. One of them can be found by using a fishing pole to fish a green glowing fish. Just run around the map and look in the water until you see green glowing fish. Sometimes they can be very hard to find, and it can spawn in so many places. So find the green fish, put the fishing rod in the spot that it can go that's next to it, and then after it fishes up, it'll fish up a Ravager, and then you can go ahead and end the round. In the next round, there'll be Ravagers running around the map, so go find them and just continue doing damage to this green, like, misty Ravager until eventually he dies and drops to the uranium container. Okay, hopefully you've held on to your Glock drop from opening the Pack-a-Punch, because now we're going to need it. Hoard up a bunch of zombies, preferably at the start of a round, and then drop this Glock drop. Now, don't kill any of the zombies that are running around, but any of them that are floating in the air from the Glock drop, kill, and then they will go into the Glock drop, and if you fill up enough, then the Glock drop will start spinning, and it'll shoot out one of the uranium containers. Okay, now we have an open score streak slot, and we're going to go ahead and go buy an RCXD with salvage. We're going to come over to this little compartment here. We're going to melee it open, and then we're going to drive the RCXD down, and we're going to jump the lake, and then we're going to blow up these barrels right here. Now, if you come down into this lab, then you can look through this window, and you can see that there's numbered 1 through 4, I believe, and if you look, then you can see that there's little symbols below 2 of the numbers. Take note of what numbers those are, and then find these jars of heads that correspond with the numbers. So like 1 is A, 2 is C, 2 is B, and 3 is C, etc. You get what I mean? And then one at a time, you're going to have to place them here in this little thing, and then after a while, it'll spit out this like pink jar of purple goo, whatever, and then pick that up, put it on this claw, grab the thing that it spawns, and then use that to lockpick this door. Then now you have your last uranium canister. Okay, now we're going to use that crowbar that we grabbed earlier. There's going to be 4 crates that spawn around the map, and each of them will apply a different effect to you, and one of them will drop a bullet. So basically, we're just going to run around the map, and I'll show you each 4 spawns, and you're just going to pry open each crate until one of them drops the bullet. One thing you can do is after you get the bullet, you can just go into the robot head and wait for these effects to pass so that you're not just getting railed by zombies. And if you run fast enough, you can also outrun the effects sometimes. But yeah, basically just get ready and then open all these crates as fast as you can and grab the bullet, and then try to get to safety, because these effects suck. Alright, after you have the bullet, now you're going to take it to this artillery thing over on the lighthouse island. Make sure it's the one pointed towards the robot. Enter it in, and then melee, and it'll shoot. Then you can go over, and you can just search this spot right here, and then eventually it'll drop a piece that you need, so grab that piece. Take it to the robot's head and place it here. Now you're going to want to look at these blinking lights. So basically you're just going to count how many times each light blink. They'll blink at the same time, so I suggest just watching them and just counting 1, 2. Take note of which number that one of them stops and then keep counting for the other one. And basically the amount of times that each light blinks is a code. So as you can see in my game, one of the lights blinks 5 times, the other light only blinks twice at the same time, and then one of the lights blinks 7 times, so the other light blinks 6 times. So you understand. Now you're going to come down to this little area and you're going to figure out one of those codes. Basically, one of those codes is going to work, one of them's not, so you just try both, and you're just going to turn these dials until they're facing at those respective numbers from left to right. And then once you get the code, the robot will do like a test fire, and then after that happens, a bunch of zombies will spawn and just kill them, and then you can enter in the second code, and then after that you'll be able to come down here and grab this fire barrage. Take that fire barrage over to this building right here. As you can see, this debris that I'm looking at right now, you're going to want to destroy that, so call it in on that wall. It'll destroy that debris, then you can go up the stairs and down, and then now you can basically put your 3 uranium canisters on this canister right here, and then you do this claw machine game. Now this claw machine game is very interesting. It basically takes a lot of trial and error, so you're just trying to use these canisters to charge up the electricity, but not too much and not too little. So what I suggest doing is just grabbing the first 2 and just kind of placing them around in different spots and seeing how much it puts your level up. And then once you drop the third one, whether you overcharge it or undercharge it, it's going to break, and then you're going to have to wait till next round if you don't get it right. So basically just experiment with it and then figure out the code that's in your game. It's different every single time in every single game. So once you figure that out, you're going to be able to pick up this canister. Now you can take this canister to this spot and spawn. Okay, so after you place the canister, come over to this generator in the building directly behind it and turn it on. It'll start a lockdown, and then all these zombies will start spawning, including some boss zombies. Now you're going to have to just survive and kill the zombies until eventually it's going to stop. You're going to have to go reactivate the generator again, and then you're going to keep killing zombies and it'll stop, and just basically keep repeating this until eventually it finishes. After it finishes, you can pick up the canister, and now you're going to need to make your way all the way to the other side of the map on the bridge looking at the robot. And there's going to be all these ice spikes that are spawning in front of you, and they're going to push you back. So what you're going to want to do is just going to melee those ice spikes when they spawn in front of you, and just keep trekking. You can't sprint. You're going to be taking damage the whole time, so be very careful. Once you get over there, you can place it on this canister right here, and a small cutscene will play. After that cutscene plays, you can come over to this spot next to the robot foot and pick up this piece of flesh. This is where our disciple injection comes in. Basically, just go ahead and grab that on your way to this building. And in this building, we're going to put that piece of flesh over the fireplace. Then we're going to use a charged John Star shot to light the fireplace. And then we're going to go into disciple mode. And we're just going to grab zombies and chuck them into the fire until it is charged, which will start a lockdown with a super souped up, a lot of health boss will spawn, and basically you're just going to have to survive the lockdown and take down that boss, and once it ends, it'll drop this rune. Pick up the rune and take it to the church, place it on this pedestal in the church, and hit it with a charged John Star shot, and after that, there will be this giant dial that will appear in the air above you. You want to look up at that, and you'll see that there's arrows pointing at different runes. Now, the order you're going to need to find to activate these runes is based on the arrows, so the arrows will have 1 point, one of the arrows will have 2 points, and one of the arrows will have like a point and a diamond. That's the order. So it's point, 2 point, diamond. You're going to have to look at what runes those are pointing to. And then you're going to need to find these like floating bonfires around the map. So in the order that I stated before, find the bonfires with those runes and then shoot them with a charged shot from the John Star. And then after that, your boss fight ready. Now you can enter the robot and it'll take you straight to the boss fight. So yeah, good luck. Don't go in underprepared. I made the mistake in this game of going in with like a double pack ray gun, and I believe I fought the boss for about 40 minutes straight and didn't even get at half health. So yeah, you definitely want like a legendary assault rifle or something that's triple packed. It was only round 18 too, so yeah, just make sure that you got some damage output going into this boss. See ya.